Juba, South Sudan, stirred awake as the golden hues of dawn danced on the mighty Nile River. The waters moved with a quiet resolve, cradling life on its banks as fishermen paddled in simple canoes. On a rooftop overlooking the Nile, 15-year-old Amira worked tirelessly on her latest creation. Her small workshop was an organized chaos of wires, blueprints, and solar panels bathed in the soft light of the morning sun. Amira's fingers were stained with ink as she sketched the final details of her eco-friendly satellite prototype, Sky Messenger. The satellite's mission was ambitious, monitoring the Nile basin's health by tracking water levels, pollution, and climate patterns. Her best friend Niamal lounged nearby, munching on roasted groundnuts. "Amira, you really think this thing will fly? It looks like a kite that got into a fight with a solar panel." Amira laughed, brushing her hair from her face. "Niamal, this isn't just any satellite. It's a guardian for the Nile. It will fly and it will make a difference." "Guardian of the Nile," Niamal said dramatically, holding up a ground nut like a scepter. "What's next? Crocodile bodyguards?" Amira grinned. "Crocodiles don't care about clean water, but people do. If Sky Messenger works, it can help more than just us. It can help the whole world." Niamal popped another groundnut into her mouth. "Just don't make it zap anyone. Remember Bobo's crocodile zapper disaster?" They burst into laughter, their voices mingling with the sounds of the bustling city below. The Nile stretched beyond them, a reminder of their mission, to protect its flow for generations to come. Amira's ambitious project soon drew international attention. Her detailed proposal for Sky Messenger reached scientists around the world. Before long, her humble rooftop became a hub of innovation. From New Zealand arrived Tewodros, a Maori scientist specializing in renewable energy. Alongside him came Dr. Iluka, a climate expert from Antarctica, with a calm demeanor and a wealth of data on global weather systems. Tewodros examined the satellite's solar sails with admiration. "These remind me of our ancestors' waka sails," he said. "They harness the wind to navigate the seas. Your sails harness the sun to navigate the skies. Brilliant!" Amira beamed with pride. "We all navigate in different ways. This satellite is our way of navigating the future." Dr. Iluka added, "Sky Messenger is more than just a satellite. It's a bridge connecting the Nile to the ice caps, the savannah to the ocean. It shows how deeply interconnected we all are." The rooftop workshop buzzed with activity. Local children stopped by, offering enthusiastic advice and curious questions. Amira's parents watched proudly from a distance, though her mother couldn't resist checking in. "Don't forget to eat," she said, leaving a plate of steaming kisra, flatbread, beside her daughter. "I'll eat once I've finished calibrating the sensors," Amira replied, her determination unwavering. Launch day finally arrived. A crowd gathered in the city square to watch the satellite's ascent. Sky Messenger lifted into the sky, its solar sails gleaming like wings. The crowd erupted in cheers as it disappeared into orbit, ready to fulfill its mission. Weeks after the launch, disaster struck. A massive solar storm swept across the Earth, wreaking havoc on satellites and communication networks. Planes were grounded, GPS systems failed, and even Sky Messenger went offline. Amira sat in her workshop, staring at the blank monitor in disbelief. "How do we fix this?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Sky Messenger was our only tool. Niamal, ever practical, leaned against the table. "What about the old ways? Our ancestors didn't have satellites, but they knew the Nile better than anyone." Tewodros nodded thoughtfully. "Celestial navigation might be the answer. If we combine that with Sky Messenger's pre-storm data, We could recalibrate it manually. Dr. Iluka chimed in. This is a rare opportunity to blend ancient wisdom with modern science. Let's give it a try. Amira's resolve hardened. Let's get to work. Under a canopy of stars, the team gathered on the rooftop. Amira spread out ancient star maps, while Tepaora demonstrated how to read constellations. Dr. Iluka analyzed patterns in the disrupted satellite transmissions, and Niamal kept spirits high with her usual humor. If this doesn't work, Niamal said, we could always train crocodiles to deliver messages. Imagine a crocodile courier service, fast, reliable, and terrifying. Even Dr. Iluka chuckled. I think I'd prefer the satellite. Amira worked methodically, entering recalibration commands into the system. The team held their breath as the monitor flickered to life. Sky Messenger was back online, sending streams of data that restored vital communication links. Niamal threw her arms around Amira, laughing. The Nile never gives up, and neither do we. News of Sky Messenger's recovery spread worldwide, and Amira became an overnight sensation. At a global summit in Geneva, she stood before an audience of leaders, scientists, and young innovators. The Nile teaches us that we are all connected, she said. When we combine the wisdom of our ancestors with the tools of today, there is no challenge we cannot overcome. The crowd erupted in applause. Tepaora and Dr. Iluka stood proudly beside her, representing the unity of cultures and disciplines that had made the project possible. Amira's story inspired children across the globe. Letters poured in from young dreamers who saw themselves in her, bold, determined, and ready to make a difference. Her rooftop lab became a hub for workshops where she taught kids about science, sustainability, and the importance of protecting their heritage. Back in Juba, Amira dedicated herself to teaching the next generation. She launched a series of community programs, blending modern technology with traditional knowledge. The Nile, the stars, and Sky Messenger became symbols of hope and resilience for the people of South Sudan. One evening, as Amira and Niamal gazed through a telescope at Sky Messenger's orbit, Niamal joked, "Do you think it gets lonely up there?" Amira smiled. It knows its mission, to watch over us, and it knows it's never alone. The two friends sat quietly, the Nile's gentle murmur a reminder that their work had only just begun.